Welcome everybody to the launch of the WCIT IT Charity Award 2018. As Mike said, I'm chair of our charity. It's the charity is the charitable vehicle for the Information Technologists company. And I can't tell you, I don't think I would be able to convey to you just how excited I feel today. It's such an exciting point in our history as a charity, because until now, and certainly in the past, and I'm sure Ken will remember this, we struggled to even find £5,000 to give away. So here we are today talking about £750,000 for this IT Charity Award. I am just over the moon. I would like just to tell you that a little bit about the charity. It's more to do with our members really, because the ability of the charity to make any grants is absolutely down to the generosity of our members. It's the members that make donations to the charity and allow us to then to be able to make forward grants. And over the past 25 years, we have donated a total of just over £5 million, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And that is to 450 charities. And these include our strategic partners, people like Lifelights and Thames Reach, and of course the Hammersmith Academy, which we co-sponsored with the Mercers, and our members donated £1 million to establish the endowment there. And our annual level of grant giving is now at about £200,000 a year. So as a result of our members' generosity and as a result of a favourable stock market, over a number of years, we have built up this reserve of £750,000, which we've decided to spend, and we decided to spend it in a way to launch this award. And we're looking for an exciting new project, something that makes innovative use of technology, a transformative project, something that is going to have a really huge impact on improving lives. Something that we will be proud of in years to come. So you will hear more about the award and about the process going forward from Ken, Sir Kenneth. I'm never quite sure what I can call him. But
it's getting better.
It's getting better. He tells me I didn't even used to call him Ken, it was something far worse than that. But yes. But what I would like to do before we move on to that is just introduce our judges, because I believe that we've got a high quality, diverse, independent set of judges with a variety of skills and experience that will be able to help us come up with the best result. All their details are on the website. So here they all are. Why is it we all look about 10 years younger than on the pictures? But never mind. We're over there too. You're absolutely right. So the panel is chaired by Sir Kenneth Olisa, past master of this company, and currently Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant of Greater London. Sir Kenneth has also founded 2 technology merchant banks and chaired a number of charities and charitable trusts. Robin, you can see Robin over there with Archie at his feet. Robin Christopherson is a founding member of UK tech charity AbilityNet and is an expert in accessibility and inclusive design. I get to sit as part of the judges, so I'm even more excited. I'm chair of the charity and a past master of the company. I've had a career in IT that led to being managing director of an outsourcing company, and I followed that with a portfolio of not-for-profit and charity sector roles. Tim Hales, who you'll see up there, he's spent the last 19 years as the in-house counsel in the corporate and investment bank of JP Morgan, Chase and Co, and he is currently the aldermanic sheriff of the City of London. Barrett, among other roles, Barrett is the CEO of Trust for London, one of the largest charitable foundations tackling poverty and inequality in the capital, and he's also a non-exec director of North Middlesex University Hospital Trust, and other things which you will find on the website. Gary, over there. Gary works in IT, he's an industry professional, he's a chartered engineer, and he's a trustee of WCIT Charity, and he chairs our grants committee. Then we've got Debbie Anstead, She's a senior executive in the Housing Association and Disability fields. She is a past master of the Mercers Company and a former chair of trustees of both the Joseph Rowntree Foundation and the Joseph Rowntree Housing Trust. And then we have Eben Upton. He's the founder of the Raspberry Pi Foundation, and he serves as the CEO of Raspberry Pi Trading, which is its commercial and engineering subsidiary. In an earlier life, he founded 2 successful mobile games and middleware companies. The clerk is just reminding you, I must tell you about the tweet handle. I've got that. It's #CharityITAward. So those of you who are more up to date with the technology than me hopefully will be tweeting while you're listening. I think it's a great panel, and I'm very pleased that the judges have volunteered to give their time. I'm very thankful to them because I think we'll come out with a great result as a result of it. And I would now like to hand over to the chair of the judging panel, Sir Kenneth Olisa. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you, Jo. Well, good evening, everybody. It's great to be here. That's okay.
Archie doesn't like clapping.
Yes, no, thank you, Archie.
Don't clap.
So I pick up with what Jo began with and just talk a little bit about how weird it is to be standing here talking about giving away £750,000. I've been in this company for about a quarter of a century, rounding up or down, including tax. And I can remember when we didn't have a hall, we didn't have an endowment fund, we had a court, we had a few of the grand things that were necessary, we didn't have a royal charter, we didn't have a boat, we didn't have any of those sorts of things. And over the years, we've moved from that position to where we are today. But I can remember one of the low ebbs, which we dealt with, I have to say, quite well at the time. But Jo, you will recall this as well. When we didn't have a hall, people in the city would say, oh, we're one of the modern companies. Do you have a hall? And we say, no, we don't need one. We're information technologists. We have a hall on the web. We're worldwide. It's global. We don't need anything like that. And then someone came up with a scheme for us to raise some money to get a hall, and we rushed like a stampede to get our own hall. Now I mention that because I remember how it felt, our self-esteem felt at that time when we didn't have one, and we were looked down upon by other livery companies in the city as being some newfangled organisation that didn't count. And I'm mentioning that because self-esteem is really the underlying theme that I just want to talk about, and where we're going to be applying this large amount of money. I've spent more than 25 years in the charitable world in the UK, particularly to do with homelessness, and now homelessness, disability, education, skills and employment. And in that period of time, I've discovered something about the world of charity and of community, and that is self-esteem. Self-esteem is the difference between being low, incapable, dependent, and being the opposite of those things. Particularly my homeless experience, if you find somebody living in a shop doorway, I can guarantee they will have almost no self-esteem. And they will once have had self-esteem, and something has gone wrong, and they've gone down some terrible spiral where they have no self-esteem. And what I discovered it was Thames Reach, the charity I was involved with for a very long time, what I discovered was we can't affect somebody else's you can't change as an outside person somebody else's self-esteem. The clue is in the tin, it's self-esteem. So I have to drive my own self-esteem. But those of us on the outside can help people with low self-esteem. And how do we do that? We give them hope. And by giving people hope, that's how you get a flicker of confidence and being able to rebuild yourself and to climb back up the opposite of that spiral. And I would argue that much of the charitable works in our great nation is to do with giving people hope. And today's project from the Worshipful Company of Information Technologists is an opportunity to give hope at scale. First of all, it's being given by a group of people who 27 years ago didn't exist and have come together for a singular purpose of fraternity, worrying about the trade, and charity and education, but all commingled in one wonderful pool. And in each of those things, we give hope to other people. And now, with our £750,000 amazing windfall, because as you said, Jo, I can remember we had no money and we were worrying about where the next £5,000 might come from if we could help some relatively small charity. With this windfall, it's our intention to seek out innovative, exciting projects from within the United Kingdom which will give hope to other people. And those other people will be in 2 broad categories: young people and people with some form of disability. Now, why have we chosen those, or why those, never mind why we've chosen them, why are those two things important? Well, pick up the Evening Standard this evening on your way home, and you'll read dreadful stories about young people doing dreadful things. There's bound to be an article about knife crime, there's probably going to be one about drug taking, and so on. And the problem with those articles is they pollute the thinking that people have in our country about what's happening with young people. Yet young people are full of energy and enthusiasm and opportunity. If we don't give them hope, that gets dashed and they go the wrong way. So young people is a fundamentally important focus for the future of the country, but also for what we wish to do. And then disability is the other area. And I just want to say a couple of words, if I may, about disability. I'm also chairman, as Joe mentioned, of Shaw Trust. Shaw Trust is a big focus on disability. I once was called to a seminar as a member of the board, actually as chairman of the board, to talk about disability. And I remember thinking, I've had a long morning, it's quite a tiring day, I really would like to just go home and read my papers on the train, but I have to go to this, and I'm not chairman, so I have to behave in this seminar. So I sat there with the rest of the board as two of our employees came in and said they were going to talk to us about disability and impairment. And I remember thinking, oh gosh, first of all, Nobby know-all here, disability and impairment are synonyms, so there shouldn't be an and because it's the same thing. So anyway, I decided, no, I'm not chairman this afternoon, I'm just an attendee, so I'll be quiet and I'll listen to what happens. Thank goodness I was. A lady called Claire in a wheelchair said to us, right, I'm going to give you all a bag of words and a clipboard, and I want you just to pick your way through the words and put them on one side or the other of the clipboard, which has got a line down the middle, and the two columns are disability and impairment. Well, they're a synonym. So I know that they're the same thing, so this is going to be really stupid, and I'm really cross, and if I'd got the earlier train, it wouldn't have mattered. And I remember taking the first word out. I can't now remember which one it was, but wheelchair bound or something. I don't know what it was. Actually, no, I think it was visually impaired. So I'm holding this thing that says visually impaired, and I know disability and impairment are synonyms, so I can't put it on either side, and I can't put it on the line on the middle, because if I do that, I'll be a rat bag and not the right kind of person to be chairman. So I sit there dithering between these two, trying to think, how am I going to deal with it, whilst watching my colleagues scattering the words around the chart. At the end, I finished. I've still got the word blind in my hand. And Claire said, Claire speaking, said, I'm in a wheelchair. I said, Claire, I'm disabled. Getting into this room without a ramp was really difficult. Actually, she said, I'm impaired by being in a wheelchair, and if you put a ramp here, I will be enabled. So you, to all we embarrassed board members, are able to enable or disable people at will. My impairment is my impairment, said Claire. And I remember thinking two things. One is I'm glad I didn't put this down in the middle, because that would make me look like a real plonker. But secondly, what a profound point. Actually, what a fundamentally important point in our nation, that it is possible for us, the rest of people who are not impaired, to help those who are lead fulfilling lives. And how do we do that? Answer, by giving them hope. And so what you see today with this announcement is an opportunity for innovative, creative people to find a way of applying information technology so that we can give hope to one or both of those constituencies. And in so do, lay down, first of all, a legacy of the last 25 years of this company's achievement. And then secondly, a challenge to the next 25 years, because if we can do £750,000 in the first 25, what do we expect of our successors over the next 25? IT-based is key, and so one final helpful warning before I hand back is to say the kind of IT we're looking at is not the kind of IT that we're advertising here. Those of you who bother to look at it, and I will just make this point, if you are thinking of logging on, it's WCIT Guests, and the password is @98 exclamation mark. That's not the accessible, enabling IT that we'll be looking for, rather something which is better to support those two great constituencies. And my final comment to remind you is it's #Charity IT Award. Thank you, thank you.
Oh, sorry, Archie. It's almost over. Before we just go on to any questions that you may have on this, if we can just show you the process and the dates and make sure you understand how we're planning to do this, because I think we want to engage with people as best we can. Applications will have 3 stages. The first thing is a simple expression of interest for any charity to express that they would like to be part of this scheme. It will be a simple 2-page form, and what we will be doing is selecting from the applications 4 charities to be taken forward to complete fully worked out plans, and there will actually be a more complete and more arduous process, because we don't want to waste charities' time, but we want to make sure that those that do go forward have really thought about what they're doing. The 4 chosen charities will be asked to come and give a presentation actually at Mercer's Hall in September, and we're going to invite a lot of our members along to see those presentations, because it is our members' money has created this fund, and we want them to have some influence over which project they want to support. The judges will be able to take away all of the full business cases and the business plan of the project that the charities have worked up, combined with the information of the presentation evening, and make a selection. And we will be planning to announce which charity has won the award in October. So hopefully you've now heard how we've got to here, why we're doing it and why we think it's so important, and how the process is going to work. And really the challenge that we have is we need to find the best project, and the reason we've invited you all here as members of the company, strategic partners, organisations that we have links with, is to encourage you to spread the word. #CharityIT Award.
Is that
so,
a word?
It's going to be a word I'm going to be using an awful lot for the next few months.